John Donald Dumont, a Métis soldier of the 1st Hussars, murdered by the 12th SS on 11th June 1944. John Donald Dumont was a descendant of Gabriel Dumont, the Métis military leader of the 1885 Northwest Resistance. He was born on the File Hill Reservation near Lorley, Saskatchewan on the 28th of April, 1916. His parents were farmers. John was also a survivor of the Capelle or Labret residential school. Opened in 1884, Capelle was one of the first federally funded church-administered residential schools established after the 1879 Davin Report recommended the federal government fund existing church-run schools and build new ones to bring out rapid cultural assimilation of Indigenous children. The National Truth and Reconciliation Commission uncovered many stories of abuse at Capelle and found that at least 50 children died there. The school did not close until 1998. John joined the 16th/22nd Saskatchewan Light Horse on the 24th of May, 1941. That regiment became the 20th Army Tank Regiment on the 15th of May, 1942, and left Canada for the UK on 16th June, 1943. John was transferred to the 1st Hussars on 11th August 1943. He was a gunner in B Squadron. He was awarded the Good Conduct Badge and the Canadian Volunteer Service Medal and Clasp in January 1944. He landed with the regiment on D-Day. Being a gunner in B Squadron, he would have been an amphibious duplex drive tank in the first wave of the invasion. All 19 of B Squadron's tanks were amphibious duplex drive Shermans that were launched 4,000 meters from the shore. 15 of them made it to the beach. Anti-tank mines and guns threatened the tanks on the beach and inland, so much so that by the end of the day, B Squadron only had 4 functional tanks left. Overall, 21 soldiers of the 1st Hussars were killed on D-Day. Le Patrie was the perfect storm of mishaps that led to the regiment's deadliest defeat, with 45 fatal casualties. On the 9th of June 1944, German soldiers found copies of the radio procedures and codes in a knocked-out tank near Authie in France. This enabled them to listen into the Canadian communications when the offensive began on the 11th of June. Military intelligence falsely suggested that the Germans were continuing to withdraw and would not fight hard for the village. The regiment was given little notice of the offensive and did not have ample time to brief its troops. The Regina Rifles, unaware of the offensive, had laid mines on the planned route of advance, forcing the Hussars to take a slower route that gave the Germans more time to prepare and resulted in a worse angle to attack the village from. As a result, most of B Squadron who led the attack were destroyed either by the anti-tank guns in and around the village or by the counterattack by the German tanks. Only 4 of B Squadron's 19 tanks returned from this battle, and only 2 of those had full crews. While many were able to escape their knocked-out tanks, survival upon escape was not guaranteed. John was one of the Hussars at Le Patrie who managed to escape his tank. However, he was captured and became one of the 13 Hussars murdered by the 12th SS that day, and one of the 156 Canadians they murdered in Normandy in June 1944. From Caffey Littlejohn in Métis Soldiers of Saskatchewan. For some of our men, death came at the hands of the 12th SS Panzer Division. This force, commanded by Kurt Meyer, executed Canadian POWs in a series of atrocities conducted during the Allies' push into Normandy. Among those murdered were John Donald Dumont, a relative of Gabriel Dumont. The murder of POWs was in defiance of the Geneva Conventions, which regulated the treatment of POWs. John is memorialized at Le Patrie and at the National Métis Veterans Memorial Monument at Batoche, Saskatchewan, and Dumont Falls near Gwillim Lake, Saskatchewan. He is buried at the Benny-sur-Mer Canadian War Cemetery in France. Thank you for watching. The 1st Hussars Museum is open Tuesdays to Saturdays from 10 a.m. till 4:30 p.m. in the summer. It's located at 1 Dundas Street in London, Ontario. The museum will also be open for Canada Day and will have extra displays and activities that day. We are also participating in Historic Places Days running from July 11th to July 20th, as well as Doors Open London on September 20th and 21st. Stay tuned to our Facebook, Instagram, Threads, Twitter, and Blue Sky pages for updates. Links to our social media pages are in the video description. Your continued support for the museum in person and online is appreciated. Thank you.